Welcome back to High School Football Weekly, Episode 9. Dick Gallagher and Frank Wolf, you got us in your office or in your home or wherever you're watching this in your car. Thank you very much for continuing to watch our show each week. We really appreciate it, and we thank you for your support of our show, what we're trying to do for high school football in Western New York. Dick, doing this for as long as you have and for as little time as I have, we run across athletes that you're going to remember for a long time. There's just kids that just are extremely polite, fun to watch, and just play the game the right way. And they do everything they can to be a good teammate. They do everything they could to be coachable and things of that nature. And one of those kids is hanging up his cleats after their game last week, and that's Connor Desiderio from Maryvale. And, you know what? Tom Rapisi put this nice highlight film together for us. Tom from PrepStar, who has worked with Connor for the last few years. Why don't we take a look at those highlights real quick, and then I'll just give you my thoughts on Connor. Welcome back, and that was pretty impressive what Connor's been able to do the last 4 years as a starter there at Maryvale. Got the chance to play at New Era Field, and he really raced onto the scene with his shootouts with Cheat DeWog over the years, going up against Bartnick. Eric Bartnick was a Connolly Cup favorite finalist just a few years ago, and taking Maryvale on his back along with Rashad Law and a couple of those guys, getting all the way to New Era. They went right down to the final play, had a chance to win there. He is one of those kids that you're going to remember long after he's done playing at Maryvale, because he was just such a good kid to talk to, always willing. I went out to their game against Lakeshore last Thursday night, and I knew that was going to be his last game, and he was just a few yards shy of breaking Corey Shem's records for offensive yards, which he did do. He passed it. He went over that threshold, and he got a nice email from Corey congratulating him on doing that, which tells you what type of guy Corey was back in his playing days and what kind of guy he is now. And we salute him for his service He's a great kid. Has his jersey retired there at Maryvale, and I asked Connor after the game, I go, one of these days, you may see your jersey up next to his, and he just couldn't believe it. He just didn't want to even talk about it. He was, yeah, it'd be nice, but he's so focused on being a good teammate and everything else that comes along with being a high school athlete, that he can really care less about the awards and the acknowledgments and that sort of thing. That kid, after the game, just wanted to be alone on the field by himself. So, everyone's getting ready to leave. The fans are clearing out. Teammates go in the locker room. Connor goes in the locker room. He comes out 20 minutes later, just walks out in his flip-flops, and he's got his spikes draped over his shoulders, and he walks out there, and I said, hey, so you want to talk real quick? And he goes, yeah, I just got to do a couple things first. And one of them, he threw his cleats up on the goalpost. I don't know if he's going to get in trouble for loitering or not at Maryvale. But, he wanted to put his cleats up on the field goal post as a way of saying, I'm done. I've left my mark here on the football field. I'm done. But then he just disappeared onto the field. It was pitch black. There were no lights. And he just went out to God knows where to do whatever, just to kind of reflect on his last 4 years as the quarterback at Maryvale in his career. And I just wanted to leave him alone. You know what? We could talk another time. So I let him go, but I have no idea where he went to. But I know he went back on that field to just kind of maybe laugh, cry, or who knows what.
He is a class act. He'll be very successful in his life. He's going to be at Lonnie's and playing baseball. But one of the stories I heard recently was that there was a kid that got injured at Maryvale, and he had that young boy be one of the captains for a game so he could enjoy that moment even though he wasn't playing. And instead of Desiderio, being that captain, this other player was able to just enjoy that moment. And that's the type of class act that Connor is and always will be, because you don't change individuals like that.
I mean, I offered him a job that night with WNY Athletics right away, because I feel that strongly. He's going to be successful, whatever he does. So hopefully one day he's successful with us. We'll have to wait and see. He didn't take me up on the offer. He said, I got to finish out my high school year. I said, yeah, we're talking after college. You go do what you got to do at St. Bonaventure, but you call us when you're done. But I mean, that we extend those that courtesy to a lot of kids. He's just one that I wanted to highlight on this show because we do appreciate everything that kid did for high school football in Western New York, and especially that Maryvale program. I know all those guys are extremely proud of him.